I'm lonely and sad and the world is hard and horrible. And I was thinking this morning that like no one's laid next to me in bed. I've never had the comfort of someone's arms around me. When I've had difficult moments, I've gotten through them by myself most of the time.
You know what's the main problem with relationships nowadays and with men nowadays? Men usually don't want to put in the effort. They don't want to fight for what they want. Men just give up because they know there will be someone else who will take them as they are.
Men don't put in the effort because you are not worth it. Men gave up on dating because they realized it is a waste of time and money. I want you to ask yourself this. Why would a man want to be with a woman who isn't even a quarter of the woman their mother was? This next video is a perfect example of this.
So long story short, I was a runaway bride, essentially.
You left him at the altar?
Yeah.
And how long has it been, by the way, since all this happened?
12 years.
So
you want to shoot your shot with the man that you left at the altar?
Literally, with no call. This is the first time I'm hearing from you in 12 years. Do you understand? Yeah. I've not spoken to you in 12 years. You just literally vanished.
After leaving him at the altar and ghosting him for 12 years because she thought she could do better, she decided to try and come back to him after realizing she couldn't. Her desperation to find a husband before she turns 40 is apparent. And the only reason she is trying to get back with him is because no other man would take her seriously like he did.
I thought that I wanted to have the whole college experience of the whole hookup culture and dating, and I thought that that was going to bring me satisfaction. I thought that that was going to bring me fulfillment. I thought that I was going to enjoy that, but I actually truly hated it. Feeling confused and feeling used. That's the best way I can describe my single era and like the type of men that I was dating. And that is when I knew that these men that I was dating before, these were not men from the Lord.
Did you hear her take accountability for sleeping with a bunch of random men? I didn't either, but what I did hear was her saying it was the men's fault for taking advantage of her, and she's the victim because she feels used, even though she was actively participating in it on her own.
I know y'all gonna get mad at me, but somebody need to hear this. These are all flamingos. There's not a chicken in there that's been a friend of theirs for a long time. There's not an eagle hanging around that just thinks they're good people or good birds. There's not a pelican in there that just doesn't do flamingo stuff but still friends with them, right? That's because birds of a feather flock together. So fellas, if your girl hangs out with a whole bunch of hoes, that means she's a...
Very true. Let's take a look at a good example of this.
What would you go for? That one, this one, or this one?
Neither.
Why?
I can tell you all three. You already told me she was over a roster, and if she's her friend, and she's her friend, none of them are good.
It's science.
What do you think is the body count?
I'm gonna say 15, and I'm gonna say over 20.
The body count?
Truly.
What's your body count?
4. 4.
So what's the perfect body count for a woman?
For a woman, I'm gonna say under 7. Under 7.
that's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Damn. So
anything above is crazy.
None of these can have a chance?
Not a chance. What? You gotta be worthy of yourself, man. You're worth more than that.
But you don't think high body count means more experience?
More experience? I don't give a fuck about more experience.
I don't blame you.
Shit, what would you rate them then?
Would I rate them?
They good looking.
Nah. Nah. You gotta stay true to yourself, man.
I'm proud of you, you know that. I hope you do.
I wouldn't recommend marrying anyone with 2 or more partners, since that would significantly increase the chances of a divorce. But I would also recommend to simply not get married so you can avoid divorce altogether. Before we continue, if you have enjoyed the video this far, I would greatly appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Let's continue.
I'm quite literally rolling around in horse trying to get this bottom thing off my car. I don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna cry. I'm trying to get this off, and I need a screwdriver to take it off. And I just wish someone would pull over and help me, because I don't know what to do. Oh, someone just pulled over. No way. Thank you so much.
There was your daily dose of strong and independent women failing to be independent. Now, here's your daily dose of tears, so you can stay hydrated for the rest of the day.
It's not even a big deal, besides the fact he told me he didn't want to be Jimmy Jr. and Tina with me, which is totally fine. It's okay. I don't care. And then he's like... And then I was like... And then he left me on red. After I was like, okay, what about this one? And it's the Barons. At 106, and I checked my phone at 118, and he left me on red. So I said, forget it, with a period. It's not even that big of a deal, but... just why not? Why not?
What the
A lot of men are about to get offended by what I'm going to say. But I'm going to say it anyway, because it's true. To me, it is anyway. I personally believe, right, there are more attractive women in the world than there are attractive men, because beauty and beauty standards has always been targeted towards women. So with that in mind, it is a lot harder to find really attractive men. And I mean, like, insanely attractive men, not just the average. I mean, men you look at and do like a double take because you're just insanely in awe of how beautiful they are. Which brings me to my main point, that sometimes we as women, when these very attractive men come into our lives, tend to lose sight of our boundaries because they are so good looking that being in their presence and looking at them makes you feel giddy, and you're like, I don't really see that many men that look like you. And so if you're willing to not try as hard as them, I'm willing to accept that. But we need to stop doing that, because it's not good. Just because they're attractive doesn't mean they can treat you like garbage. And I know that sucks, because I've been there where a really attractive guy, you know, we planned something where it was essentially him just coming to mine after we had met. And initially I said yes. And then I reviewed the whole situation. I was like, look, if he wasn't this good looking and just a normal guy had asked you the same thing, you would have said no. You would have straight away been like, no, you're not coming around my house. I don't know you like that. Plus, it's not a nice second way to meet. I need to get to know you better, blah, 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 blah. 100%. If he hadn't been as attractive as he was, I would have said no, without a doubt.
Props to her for being honest. Instead of acting like attractive men don't get preferential treatment from women. Preferential treatment for attractiveness happens on both sides, but men aren't ashamed to admit it, like the ladies are. I would recommend you watch this video next. Farewell, everyone.